Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me again if you're here. I hope everyone's January is going well so far. Before we begin, I do have a quick announcement to make about next week. I've decided to participate in next week's blackout of all Meta platforms, so I will be signing off of Facebook from January 19th through the 25th. My career has always hinged on factual accuracy and operating from a place of ethics. So it's important to me that Meta hears the message that its users value fact checking. So I will continue to hold these live sessions on YouTube. So if you're listening, please join me there. In the comments to this session and in the pinned event on my Facebook profile, I'll post the link to my Rain in January playlist on YouTube. And that's where you can access all of my live sessions, all my past ones, and all the ones that are upcoming. So stay tuned for that, and find me over on YouTube for next week. And then I'll return after the 25th. I just hope to make that statement clear to Meta that fact checking is a good thing. And for my own credibility, and because I like to believe that what I'm reading is credible, um, it's important that we keep fact checking. Okay, so moving on. If you're just joining me for the first time, I'm Tara, and I'm a mindfulness meditation teacher. I'm also participating in Dryuary, Dry January. You might refer to it as dry-ish or damp January. Today is day 17. And in the past sessions that I've held, I've mentioned the Alcohol Minimalist podcast and what host Molly Watts refers to as the 4 core beliefs surrounding alcohol use. One of them is that it relieves stress, and I've addressed that in many sessions. Another is that it makes things more fun, and I addressed that last Friday. And another is that it's my reward, which I addressed on Wednesday. Another one is that it keeps me going, and I'll address that next week. But today I wanted to focus on another one, and that's the idea that it creates connection. Um, Especially because it's Friday, I know a lot of us may be, especially over the weekend, maybe doing something social, and we often associate that with drinking, and that comes from the idea that drinking does create connection. So I'll come back to touch on each of the different core beliefs as I move forward. But today I wanted to focus on that one, that it creates connection. So I'm a naturally shy person, and I always have been. If you know me, you know that about me. I've always had a hard time initially connecting with others. It's been a very gradual process for me as I've gotten to know people. And I've often been the new kid in town too, especially in adulthood, in college, graduate school, and throughout my 20s, heading to a bar after class or work or to someone's party often served as an icebreaker where I'd finally get to talk to others outside of the academic or professional context and, joke around and connect. Um, and yes, scientifically, alcohol, particularly that initial buzz that it gives us, creates this pleasurable feeling of euphoria, and it lessens our inhibitions. So it can make us feel braver and more social, and we often try to keep this going by drinking more. In addition, we've been conditioned by history. So alcohol has been consumed for thousands of years in communal spaces and occasions. I like to think back to medieval times when people would meet in these mess halls and, mead was a thing. I was an English major, so I read a lot of literature talking about exchange, drinking mead and having these large gatherings of people where people would just, basically connect over alcohol. Anyway, the idea of alcohol and community has often gone hand in hand, and it's everywhere. But when I really think about it, the people or even the non-humans to whom I have the closest connections and bonds are people I've gotten to know without alcohol, whether they're family or by working together or on some or by working on something together that we care about, such as writing or teaching together. That's actually how I met my husband in graduate school. We taught together, and we also shared an office. Dancing together, I dance outside of this, um, and I've met a lot of my close friends through dancing. I've also met a lot of my close friends through my kids. So my kids have their friends, and I've connected with their mothers, and we've become friends that way with our kids at the park or their classes that they've had in common. So I may have drunk together with a lot of these people at some point, but our true authentic connections have occurred in sober environments. So, mindful meditation, is a wonderful, healthy way to tap into that connection with yourself, your environment, with others. And these rain meditations that I'm leading this month allow us to recognize any beliefs that are feeding a habit that's not serving us, such as drinking. They help us accept those beliefs, that those beliefs are present without judging them. They help us investigate and challenge those beliefs and nurture ourselves by shining a light on the ability to change those beliefs and to find healthier, more nourishing ways of connecting with others. So, in today's meditation, I'll be taking us through the normal breath work, the body scan, and the rain process. And in that nurture step, I'll be guiding you to tap into your true connections and consider alternative ways of connecting. So, with all of that in mind, why don't we go ahead and start getting settled in? Again, I invite you to find a posture that will allow you to feel comfortable yet alert for the next 20 minutes, whether you're seated, upright, or lying down. Just think about what suits you best today. Often on Fridays, I feel like lying down. So, and that's perfectly acceptable if that's where you are right now. And once you find the position that best suits you, go ahead and lower your gaze. You can either rest it on a focal point a few feet in front of you, or you can close your eyes altogether. Again, whatever suits you best. And now we'll begin our breath work. So just do your best to relax any obvious areas of physical tension. And then go ahead and tune into your breath, breathing deep into your belly for 3 seconds, holding for 2, and breathing out for 4 from your belly and emptying your chest. Good. Breathing in again for 3, holding for 2, and out for 4. One more time, just like that. Breathing in, hold, and out. And now just allow your breath to be natural. When you find your mind wandering, you can always return your attention to the breath, which is always with you as a home base, recognizing this breath and this one. If the breath is not a good anchor for you, you might zoom in on a different sensation, such as where your body makes contact with the earth. Sound can also serve as a great home base. You might draw your attention to the soft noises around you, such as the hum of the heater or the ebb and flow of nature sounds outside your window, or the start and stop of voices in another room. With a peaceful, curious attention, just feel the sensations of your chosen anchor moment to moment. And now take a scan of your body, starting with the crown of your head and working your way down your scalp, relaxing your hairline, your forehead, and temples. Softening your eyebrows, eyelids, the corners of your eyes, your nose, cheekbones, jaw, the corners of your mouth, even your tongue and gums. The base of your skull, down the back of your neck, the front of your neck, kindly softening any tense areas. Move your attention down the shoulders, the upper back, and chest. Down the arms, hands, fingers, and down the torso and lower back, into the pelvis and bottom. Just continue to relax any tight spots. Moving down, continue to soften as you draw your focus to your hips, thighs, hamstrings, knees, shins, calves, ankles, the fronts of the feet, the toes, the soles of your feet. And finally, draw your attention to where your body makes contact with your seat or the earth. Here you might let out a sigh and imagine melting downward as the whole body breathes. Allow the earth to cradle you. And now call to mind your intention for this month, whether it's to stop drinking altogether, to only drink on certain days, to reduce the number of drinks you have within a given time period, or to change another habit that doesn't serve you. Visualize that intention as clearly as possible. What does it mean to you right now and to your plans for this evening? As you become aware of your intention, draw your focus to any challenging feelings that may arise in response. Whether you sense some resistance, doubt, or anxiety, or loneliness, or a craving, just take a moment to be aware of those feelings. What sensations are you most aware of? What thoughts or images arise? Just recognize their presence. If your thoughts are racing, or if you're not sensing much at all, you can recognize that too without judgment. Just be aware of whatever's most dominant, perhaps the overall tone. And now just allow this dominant feeling to be there. Pause for a moment and accept its presence. You might mentally whisper yes or welcome. If you find yourself saying no to the experience, you can say yes to that feeling of resistance too. This belongs. This too. You are simply observing its presence. Mindfulness has room for all of it. And now, zoom in on one challenging thought or feeling. Again, whatever is most dominant, and approach it with curiosity, as if you're meeting it for the first time. If you could personify this thought or feeling, what does it look like? How old are they? How are they dressed? Let them speak to you. What does their voice sound like? What do they believe? What stories do they tell you? Just listen to what they're saying. What do they think will happen if you don't overindulge tonight? Maybe they're suggesting that you won't connect to those around you or that you'll feel lonely. Just listen to their response. Now draw your attention back to your breath, breathing naturally, and take another quick scan of your body. Where do you feel this emotion or thought? How does it feel? You might name any physical sensations associated with it, such as tightness, throbbing, burning, or heaviness. You might place your hand on your heart or wherever your body is affected and feel the warmth and reassurance from your palm. And now call to mind someone you're close to, someone you plan on seeing in the near future, perhaps this evening or this weekend. They can be human or non human, an adult or a child. Just visualize them as clearly as possible. See them standing in front of you. Why do you love spending time with them? Let their true qualities shine through. You might name those characteristics, imagining them filling a list. Shine a light on this list. You might imagine framing it and hanging it up on the wall next to a picture of them. And now tune into your body. As you envision whoever came to mind, how do you feel? How does your heart feel? How does your belly feel? What does your face look like? You might imagine it smiling from the inside out. What is your posture like? Rest here in this feeling for a minute. As you move forward with your evening, your weekend, keep this image or these images and these feelings in mind. When you're in the presence of whoever you imagined, see these qualities and remember why you feel such a connection to them. When you're ready, you can draw your attention back to your contact with the earth, the sounds around you, your breath. You may open your eyes, at first taking in your peripheral vision, and then eventually focusing on the sights in front of you. If it feels good, you may stretch or bend over. If you're lying down, just make sure that you return slowly to an upright posture. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I wish everyone a lovely weekend and evening. Um, you're welcome to listen to these recordings whenever you want, but as you move forward over the weekend, try to keep this exercise in your back pocket. So if you feel a craving arise or any difficult emotions, you might pause for a moment, tune into your breath or another anchor that we've practiced. Just try to recognize any cravings that arise or any difficult feelings, um, and accept them without judging yourself. And then you might nurture yourself by offering yourself some loving kindness statements or visualizations, or if you struggle with the idea that alcohol creates connections for you, you can come back to this idea of visualizing someone you enjoy spending time with, someone you're going to spend time with soon, and considering the qualities that you love about them, how that makes you feel. And most likely, that's probably that probably doesn't involve alcohol. Okay. I will be back at 6 p.m. Eastern Time today. And again, next week, I will just be holding these sessions on YouTube. So please see the comments for a link to those sessions on YouTube, or the announcement for this event on my Facebook page. It's pinned there, and I'll give the details of my YouTube channel there as well. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Take care. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.